welcome to the Patriot Hour for Thursday, August 29th, 2019. I am Michael, your host. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving us some time, folks. We truly appreciate it. We know you're busy in your day-to-day. Tomorrow's Friday. For those of you that work the traditional Monday to Friday, tomorrow is TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, right? Okay, we got a few articles we're going to jump into here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. If you're a returning Patriot, welcome back. We welcome all newbies, all new Patriots to the movement. Here at the Patriot Hour, we totally encourage you to think for yourself 100%, collect all your own dots, listen to everybody you can, look at all the research you can, read everything you can, but believe none of it, folks, until you can verify it 100% in your own right, however that works for you. Okay, you're going to look at lots of facts and a lot of unnecessary information sometimes. So you need to chew the meat, spit out the bone, and come to your best conclusion based off all of that. Okay, we're going to jump into an article here from DC Dirty Laundry, airing out America's dirty laundry. Okay. And again, no desktop capture. I never do. That's someone up there. Okay. There you go. Okay, so. Whoa, liberals really hate God and the reason will surprise you. Patriots, pay attention. I wanted to read this article here for you. So, whoa, liberals really hate God and the reason will surprise you. So I used to think it was a free love movement of the 60s that formed the bedrock for today's anti-God attitude among liberals. It kind of made sense. You couldn't indulge in guilt-free, drug-fueled, copious copulation as long as God was watching over your shoulder. Then by the late 60s, the film industry started seeding society with tantalizing notions like wife swapping, extramarital affairs, and sexual addictions. Not to be left out, porn studios cranked out XXX blockbusters like Deep Throat and The Devil and Miss Jones. Far from being shunned by the mainstream America, lines formed around the block. Something had to give. See you later, God. How could anyone watch Linda Lovelace on Saturday night and then sit in church with their kids the next morning singing Just a Closer Walk with Thee? Church attendance began to wane in the 1970s as the public shook off the chains of moral bondage and liberals cheered. Today, porn is old stuff. School kids even share it. The Secret Service and half of the government spend much of their day watching it. Sexual deviances isn't just condoned, it's encouraged, starting in preschool. Wouldn't be difficult in this social environment to find a church that would at least convince you that God is looking the other way. Maybe in South Bend, Indiana. If God is suddenly so cool with things, why does the left want to kill him/her? If it turns out it never was about sex or drugs or even rock and roll, that there was just a Trojan horse, it was about the damned Constitution. Not all of it, just those pesky inalienable rights parts. You remember them: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Inalienable, God-given, rights can't be usurped by anyone, not gun grabbers or censors or federal, state, or local government, not agencies of the NGOs, not your local police or military, not the Supreme Court or Congress or the White House. Inalienable rights, like the right to defend yourself, be safe in your own home, speak out freely, the right to own property, including firearms and SUVs, and travel unimpeded, right? Unimpeded on highways are the only roadblocks to authoritarian government. As long as God is alive in our nation, and I mean also alive in legal and procedural sense, It will keep interfering with liberal communist plan to use the government to take over our lives. Ain't that the truth? One second here, folks. All right. So crusades like getting rid of the 10 Commandments in public buildings, prayer in our school, being sworn in on anything but the Bible, and trying to remove "In God We Trust" from our currency aren't about freedom from religion. They're about freedom from God. They're ultimately about freedom from safeguards protecting American citizens' rights via the Constitution. So financial, legal, and public attacks on organizations like Scouting, where the last item in the Scout law is reverence, and Scout Oath emphasizes God and country, have nothing to do with inclusion of gay leaders, and everything to do with stripping away God-based ethics and morality. What about separation of church and state? Separation of church and state isn't in the Constitution or Bill of Rights. It was made up out of whole cloth by Justice Hugo Black in 1947, who wrote, in the words of Thomas Jefferson, "The clause against the establishment of religion by law was intended to erect a wall of separation between church and state. This was a judicial sleight of hand because the interpretation by Jefferson was never accepted by the framers, nor included in any official documents." So this nation has thrived for over 170 years without Justice Black's bogus judicial caveat in place. And because of this ruling, so many important traditions have been obliterated from the public square. So the next time you read something about the ACLU or something other left wing political group demanding that the cross be torn down or some religious object be removed from public view, look beyond the obvious. They aren't really after God. They're after you and your God-given rights. David Brockett is a Vietnam veteran, former USMC officer and pilot. As a civilian, he worked in the healthcare as a counselor and hospital administrator. He also writes articles on politics, religion, and current events. He and his wife divided their time between their home state of Texas and Idaho. That's who wrote the article here. Good piece here. Kind of hit a few things on the head for sure. All right, we appreciate you joining in. I just wanted to read that article. We'll keep this one short and sweet. Trying out the new cam here. It's got a nice wide angle. This is going to be our live streaming camera here for the 2020 Legion Freedom Ride / Patriot Hour Freedom Festival that I hope you could all join up at. It's going to be in Bristol, August of 2020. We're inviting everybody from the channel to come that can make it. 2-day event, 2-day live stream, music, flag retirement. There's a motorcycle 60-mile ride if you want to be involved in that. There's tons of things, folks. Friday night, a couple of drinks, hanging out with the Patriot Hour. We're going to do a live show from the pavilion with you guys in the audience. And then we'll have a band kick off after. So it'll be some dancing, drinking, hanging out, getting to know one another. Just a good time. Good-hearted people. Patriots. No agendas. Sounds awesome. All right. Again, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. We'll be back here with more breaking news as it comes. Again, make sure you're subscribed. Comment, folks, on your way out. Leave a thumbs up. It really, really helps juice and break the algorithms for YouTube. They might have a shadow man heavily, but you guys are helping break that by manually sharing it across all of your own social media platforms while you can. We appreciate it. Again, God bless. Good night to all of you worldwide. Where we go one, we go all. Have a great evening. See you back here real soon.